Fantastic. Did you want me to do the little lead in, Nicole, or would you like me, or do you want to do it?
No, you do it.
All right. So tonight we have a guest with us that I'm very excited about to introduce everybody to, who we're also meeting for the first time. I mean, we've chatted back and forth a little bit on social media, but this is very exciting. So welcome to the podcast, or the dogcast as we like to call it. Mandy, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself to everyone briefly?
Yes, thank you. I am so excited to chat with you guys. I love your guys' podcast, and so it's very surreal to be able to be a guest on this show. I am a positive reinforcement trainer. I am located in Lansing, Michigan. I provide private trainings as well as group trick classes I teach. I love tricks training. It's probably my favorite part about dog training. So I enjoy doing group classes there at the facility that my dog goes to training, as well as daycare and boarding too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Probably should mention too, I'm a new dog trainer, so it's really exciting. And as a lot of people are talking on social media, the next generation of dog trainers. So I graduated in April with Catch K9 Academy, so I got my certification to train with them. And I am just really excited to continue to grow in this field. I've taken on quite a few private clients, and then I teach the group classes once a week. So very exciting to see what the future holds, and hope I can get more education that's focused on, positive reinforcement training. Would love to do all that down the road, like KPA and all that great stuff. So it's exciting time.
Catch. You went through Catch, and you're a new
Yes.
trainer. So what about what brought you to
Every
training? Every time. Every time.
We want to know the answer to that question. We do. But we like to do some icebreakers just to have a little bit of fun. And so we're not taking it too seriously, because sometimes our topics can be quite serious. So, Nicole, do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
So I do have a question. Okay. So Mandy,
Yes.
do you remember your very first email address?
Oh. I think it's still the one I'm using today. It's my first name and then my maiden name at gmail.com. I still use that same email.
Dang.
Yeah. It's really funny too, because I have lots of other emails too as well for like my private businesses and work email for my full-time job. So I have lots of emails in my iPhone. My husband messes with me all the time. Like, that's crazy. You have this many email accounts. But yeah, I do. And I check them all every day. And they're cleaned up pretty well, I bet.
Karen, what about you?
I do, because it was also, I'm going to age myself here. It was my AOL username. So it was the same for the email. And it was Celtics fan 34 12 44. I remember it. I remember all the numbers. So at AOL.com. So what about you, Nicole?
So mine was also AOL, and it was Pooh Bear 1976 at AOL.com.
We got real original.
Yeah, I love that though.
Yeah. I mean, it might even still, who knows? It's probably still hanging around out there.
Probably. Oh yeah.
If anybody actually uses AOL anymore.
Didn't they shut down? Didn't it shut down?
I think they did. Yeah. The dial-up. Oh God. All you kids that don't remember dial-up.
Oh, I remember dial-up. I was there for it. That horrible screeching sound the modem used to make when you would try to. Oh.
Yep.
All right. Time for your second icebreaker, and then we'll dive into it. What movie made you laugh the hardest?
Oh.
Oh, easy choice. Pop star. I love Andy Samberg, and it is both my husband and my favorite movie. We were the Style Boys for Halloween one year. My husband was, I'm going to embarrass him right now, but on lunch hour, he was literally dancing to the Style Boys Donkey Roll, if you know that dance. But literally, it's my favorite movie. We watch it every year. We just watched it recently for my birthday. I just turned 31, so
Happy birthday.
in August. So we watched the Pop Star movie, and yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting. And so fun. I mean, I love a good funny movie, that can just make you laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just have it on the background so you can do whatever it is you're doing and not worry about it too much, and you can get back to focus whatever it is you're doing, and that's just the background noise.
Exactly. What about you, Nicole? Do you have a movie?
I mean, I'm sure I have a millions, but the one that comes to mind is Just Go With It with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. And the whole, I mean, if you've never seen it, the whole sheep shipper thing, I laugh hysterically about that all the time. And like giving the sheep the CPR, giving them the CPR. Yeah, I love that movie. Hilarious.
Solid choice.
Yeah. What about you, Karen?
To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't have an answer for this question. Excuse me.
Lame.
Because, well, first and foremost, I am more of a TV show person than a movie person.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you said sheep, it prompted my brain, and I remembered that Ace Ventura movies exist. And like Ace Ventura Pet Detective, done. I'll watch that and laugh all the time.
That's
So,
funny.
or any of like the Monty Python movies, those two.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
what more could
All
you
about
want?
those, yeah.
Yeah.
The Life
Except
of Brian.
for the only one I can't stand, not that anybody asked for this information, but is Monty Python, and now for something completely different. Only because, and again, more information than you bargained for. There's this one segment of it where there's this man, and he just comes out and he just starts going on about, oh, fishy, fishy. And it just gives me the heebie jeebies every time. So I cannot watch that one. So you're welcome.
Funny.
All right,
Too
Nicole,
funny.
now back to you and your question.
Oh, we have one more question though.
Oh, we do? Oh, okay.
We do. Okay, Mandy.
I thought.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes, definitely. I love it. Spooky season is my season. I love Halloween. There's actually in town here, our small town, a home that has been around for years, and it's apparently haunted. And I actually, when I was a journalist in the freelancing days to pay for my college education, got to hang out with some ghost hunters one night in that building, and yeah, it was pretty creepy. I don't think we did see any ghosts at that time, but they did show me footage of other times when they've been in that house.
Oh my gosh, that's
very interesting. It's called the Jewett House, and yeah, people, all the high schoolers love to go there on Halloween and see if they can see the ghost. And it's supposedly in the 2 stories, and on the top floor there is a ghost. I forget his name, but he is smoking a cigar, and you can sometimes smell the cigar on days when he comes back. So
I just
definitely believe in it.
I just looked it up. Apparently, there's quite a few places called the Jewett House.
Yeah,
there's like
Mason,
a lot of them.
Michigan.
But I'm gonna look it up.
Michigan,
I'm gonna look it up.
help.
Yeah.
We're big ghosty people, so we
Yeah,
have
and
to ask.
I love that. And in the basement, it was
I spelled it wrong.
why it's haunted is because there was people with polio that hit children, so that's where they think the ghosts have come from. Yeah.
Cool. I think it's so
Yeah.
cool, but I would ever go in there? Probably not. Probably be too scared. I'd be too scared.
Yeah, and Yeah. Oh, it's so fun. It's been renovated too in the kitchen. They've remodeled it and such. And even a girl from my high school, she lived in that house for a while with her family, and they moved out. And she did say, yes, there
Oh,
creepy
yeah.
things did happen. She never
Yeah.
said what
Originally built in
exactly, but
1855.
there she's thought she.
Cool.
I
Uh,
love it.
Yeah.
Former mayor Orlando Barnes used to live there during the Great Depression. And from 1930 until 1990 was a funeral home.
Oh, that's yeah, that's haunted. That's haunted.
Yep. Yeah. Right across right next door is the neighbor. The neighboring house is the funeral home, and that still exists.
Huh.
I love
That's
that stuff.
awesome.
I love it.
Cool. Okay. Karen,
Yeah.
you know we can see your faces, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's wrong with my face?
You're like,
Why not?
oh, yeah.
That's too bad that it's breaking up.
Yeah. That it's reliant on signal.
She's
Yeah.
so
But
cute
I
though. I
mean,
love her.
yeah, but the recording will be fine.
Yeah.
So we get each of the recordings separately. So it'll be all right. It'll work fine.
We'll make it.
It's just annoying to listen to it, go through it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Just a cold.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said you were kind of getting over a cold.
Yeah, and it just isn't fun.
Hi, there she is.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
because you
It's okay. We can.
yeah.
No.
You need what is this called?
Chrome.
Chrome. Because you're on an Apple, right? Yeah.
This will be fine. It's just we
Yeah.
just have to wait, and we'll make it work. Because Nicole,
No,
while
it's
you
not
were
you.
gone, she was saying that like the recordings will be fine. It's just a matter of us waiting to hear what you have to say.
Right.
Maybe. Did I just jinx us?
You did. Totally did.
Cool.
All right. Well, we can keep going for now though, and just see. And then once that's done, if you want to try it again, we can zhuzh it all together,
We'll make it work.
make it work. Yeah. Oh, keep lagging.
We all just need to like live together really close so that technology is never an issue.
Mm,
Yeah. And just do it from
Right.
there.
right. Or technology just needs to be better. Like, why is this a thing?
Right. All
Like
right.
it's
So
2024.
what we'll do then is you're gonna answer the question. You're gonna answer the question. And then if there's like a delay, just know that we're waiting to hear because like Nicole said that the recording will be fine. We just can't hear you in real time. We'll
Yep.
hear it afterwards. So we'll just wait. Cool.
Perfect.
Cool.
Yep. That sounds
So
good. So
why'd you
I'll
get
do
into
the
dog
first
training?
question. So I became a dog trainer. I became a dog trainer because I have my own reactive girl, a big feelings
Mm,
girl. She struggles with sound sensitivity as well as
mhm.
leash reactivity. And it was very frustrating as a dog parent and overwhelming, and thinking that I wasn't a good enough dog owner for my own dog. So I became very focused on finding opportunities to make life easier for her. And I fell into the lap of positive reinforcement training and never looked back. And just from my own reactivity training journey with my dog has showed me that I wanted to help other
Mm.
people and their struggles with dog ownership and showing them that it can be challenging, but there's opportunities to find more of the behaviors that we are looking for in our dogs and live that better life of harmony together. So,
I love that.
yeah. And also too, what I knew absolutely nothing about positive reinforcement dog training when I brought my own dog home. Reese is her name. She's a Bernese Mountain Dog. She'll be 3 in
Mm.
November. And I had a lot of background noise from people when they found out I was getting a Bernese Mountain Dog because they are quite big. And I am pretty petite. I'm only 5'2". So a lot of people would say, why are you getting a Bernese Mountain Dog? She is going to be so huge and stronger than you and pull you all around. And so it kind of lit that fire underneath me that I thought I'm going to have the best trained dog ever. So I went into Google and I just Googled dog trainers near me and picked the first option that showed up. And I got on a call with this individual who's no longer training. And she ended up being someone that is considered more of a balance trainer using aversives. And during that phone conversation, she brought up, and just to mention again, I knew nothing about dog
Mm.
training, anything about positive reinforcement or balance training methods, and talking about this prong collar and how it's the best thing in the world for your dog. If you're getting a Bernese Mountain Dog, you do not want to have her pull you over. You need to put your dog in this prong collar. And then she started going on and on about how many people don't agree with me and all these things. And I was like, why are you preaching to me about this when I absolutely have no opinion, whatever you are talking about? And from that conversation, deep in my gut, my intuition was telling me something's not right. I do not want to work with
Right.
you. And soon then started Googling dog training, and positive reinforcement training came up on YouTube. It was actually Zach George's YouTube videos. And then that's when I started learning about positive reinforcement training. And it was funny too, because I even Googled, prong collars. I didn't even know what it looked like. And I was like, oh, that thing, I thought that was just like a choke collar. I didn't think people actually use that. That just shows how naive I was back then as a first time dog owner
Uh,
myself. I had a childhood dog growing up that was just was a Shih Tzu, and did dog training with her. I think my parents more so put me in classes for something for me to do with my dog. But again, with a small dog like that, we just had harnesses
right.
on that dog its entire life. And life is so different now from how we trained dogs from back then in the early 2000s. So I was going in, with nothing. My blind, I had no idea what dog training was about, and just instantly fell in love with positive reinforcement and the science behind it and how it is the most humane and effective, and just dove in head first. And I was like, this is what I want to do.
Awesome.
I mean, I think
It's, I
that
mean, go ahead, Karen.
no, you go ahead. My apologies.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it's good on you that you listen to your gut though, right? Because I mean, a lot of people don't, especially like you're saying, like, I'm new to it and I don't really know anything about it. And here's this person that's like, here, do this. You absolutely have to do this. This is how it's done. You have to do it. And it's good on you that you listened to your gut and didn't, just kind of go along to get along because somebody told you to.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why I'm just so glad too, because I think it's put it in another perspective to me on the other side as a dog trainer too, where I don't, when dog parents come to me about for dog training, if they have used those things in the past, I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to belittle them, because I understand where that they don't know what they don't know. So, and
Yeah.
oh, Miss Reese wants to say hello, but she's out. She's gone.
She's like, okay, bye.
She's like, I'm ready for dinner. Okay,
Aw.
hello. Yes, we're talking about you. Yeah, she's like, I want dinner. But yeah, so that's why I'm open minded. I want my clients to come to me as they are, so that I can help them find better solutions to the struggles that they are going with, using the best the best methods of
Mhm.
training that are not going to cause any fear, pain, or intimidation to
Right.
train. So it's very, yeah, very important to me to come as you are. That's what I always tell my clients. Come as you and your dog are right now. That's what I want to meet.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and I think too it's you've just described what every first-time dog owner goes through. We all turn to Google and we
Mhm.
think that the first option that pops up is the best. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all do it, not just in dog training. It's just how we've been
Yeah,
programmed to think.
everyday life.
But like Nicole said, I think it's beautiful that you were able to be like, something's not right here. And I love that you can take that into your clients and approach that with that empathy. So I think it's so important that we remember this and know that other people are going to go through the same experience.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think too, it's like really like what you said, it's important. It's important to meet people where they are. And we can do, and I know Karen and I have talked about it a lot, and we've talked about it many times and in several episodes about how we can do that, but still maintain our own ethics and maintain our own boundaries about things and um stay true to what we believe, but also meeting people where they are at. Um, especially as professionals, like we need to be able to do that. Um, and I find too that it's like the the deeper in I feel like people get into it. I don't know, Karen, you might, because you've been doing it a long time too, you might not agree, but I feel like we start off like really small in our thinking, like, I've got to do this, right? Like, I've got to use prong collars on every dog, or I've got to use slip leads on every dog. And then we kind of get broad and we kind of soak everything up. And then that's when we start to like marry those two things with our own personal ethics and our own personal like morality about how we're training. And we kind of like narrow it back down again. Um, I don't know. Does that make sense what I just said?
It does.
Oh, well, good.
I
All right.
I mean, I
We're done.
so
We're done then. No.
episode over.
You got it.
I mean, I
We just saved in the dog training industry right there.
I mean, I think for me, it was a little bit of a like, and just going off of the example you used, I'm not saying that this is the way what you meant or anything like that, but like, I never felt like, and very much similar to Mandy, and you have a very different background, Nicole, from where
Right.
you started. I never felt like I had to use these tools. In fact, I was very
Mm.
much against it right from the beginning. And I think that that's really a blessing for us positive
Yeah.
reinforcement trainers. And I don't want to take away from crossover trainers or people who are hoping to crossover because there's nothing wrong with if that's where you started. It's
Right.
the what's wrong is if that's where you started and that's where you stayed and you're not growing and learning.
Right.
So that's what we have to do. And as a new trainer to the field, Mandy, what is it that you are hoping to see from this field, whether personally or in the more broad sense of what we can do in this field? What are you hoping to achieve within the dog world?
Yeah, I love that question. I would love to see the dog training world to continue to evolve as the science continues to coming in so that we're constantly going after that continual education and growing in our practice and becoming better dog trainers. I would love to also see opportunities for dog training certifications to be more affordable for individuals because it is very pricey and there's so many different types of certifications. I would love to get classes and courses I would take if I wish that they were it's expensive, so I wish as someone that's just starting out who doesn't have the budget to take these courses and certifications, that there was opportunities for them, so that we can produce that next generation of dog training that are using using positive reinforcement methods backed by the ABSAB. So
And I think too, like even just progressing, like I literally just had this conversation earlier with Angela, who will be recording with in a couple weeks. But even just progressing further, like force free and positive reinforcement, right? Like there's
mhm.
so much room for adopting better methods even within that it's like goes back to what Karen said. Like, yes, you can say that you're positive reinforcement or you can say you're force free, but there's still learning and growth to be had even within that, right? So it's like, okay, we just talked about teaching like a leave it without having to rely on negative punishment. It's like you can teach a leave it one way and you're still considered positive reinforcement, you're still considered force free, but that doesn't mean that there isn't also a better way within that realm to then progress that and kind of grow our skill set even within that. It's like it doesn't end. It's not like I just say I'm positive reinforcement, period. End of story.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that too, because as I've grown too, and just starting with training my own dog to now being a professional, utilizing more opportunities to not use a non-reward marker. It's not
Right.
necessary. It's not telling our dogs anything. So finding other ways where then instead to redirect to the behavior that I am hoping to see, instead of using that negative
Right.
reinforcer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even something like that, like, you know, trying to again progress your own thought process. I mean, I do it every day. I think of things every day and I'm like, oh, I never would a year ago I wouldn't have done it this way. Or definitely, 5 years ago I wouldn't even have thought about this at all. Um, and I feel like that's like a big thing when we talk about bringing on new or younger trainers is I hate to say open-minded because that's been co-opted and stolen by a certain someone. Um, we all know who. But to be open-minded, I hate it. I hate it. I hate those words came out of my mouth actually. Um, to be open to thinking outside the box about things.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and utilizing each other as a support to find different ways. I love
yeah.
being able to look at the trainers that I follow online, and there's a lot of trainers out there that are posting things that no, we should not be doing our
Mhm.
training in that way. But there's a lot of other trainers that I have found different ways that they're teaching different behaviors, and I'm like, wow, I never thought of that. That's a great way to reinforce not jumping on me when a puppy
Right.
comes up to me, and or counter surfing. So, and I like to adapt my training plans as well to include that, while also keeping the individual dog in mind, since we're all different. I view dogs as individuals who are just living their own unique experience for the very first time, just like us as humans. So it's very important that these plans are not only with my training curriculum that I built, but also tailored to that individual dog.
What I love most about the industry right now is how much it has become a collaborative effort. Because when I first
Mm-hmm.
started, and I know we've talked about this before, Nicole, it was very much these are my clients, you can't have them, and there was none of this. And
Right.
I cannot count how many times I've seen somebody post something on social media and I've been like, yes, that is how I've been trying to convey this to my clients, but I couldn't come up with it. But this person did.
Oh,
I'll give them all the credit in the world, but like it's so nice to see that side of this industry really starting to develop.
Yeah. Yeah, I ran into that same thing too, right? Like when I was first starting to cross over, I remember there was quite a few people that I was like, "Oh, can I shadow your classes?" You know, I'm a former military trainer and I don't want to be dealing with dogs and, you know, horribly and I want to get better. Can I shadow your classes? And then being like, "No, you might steal my stuff." Okay. Like, I might steal your stuff. Like, it's not proprietary. It's literally science. But thank you. But yeah, I mean, I went through that too. And I would never, it's funny, I would never ever say that to somebody else. Well, not in so many
yeah.
words. But no, I wouldn't. If somebody was like, "Hey, I want to shadow you. I want to see what you do," unless you're a certain somebody online who keeps who keeps messaging. No, just kidding. Um, yeah. I mean, I've had people, "You wanna walk with me? You wanna walk with me on this client and see?" "Sure, come with me." Um, but yeah, I mean, I
Yeah. And those appreciate that as being able to have that mentorship with them so that they can grow. That's why too, if there's a client that potential client that comes to me and they are looking specific for training on reactivity or aggression or multi household animals that are displaying aggressive behaviors, no, that's not the client I want. I don't feel comfortable taking on those types of clients with just starting out in the field. So I am totally a-okay with, I got a list of positive reinforcement
Mhm.
trainers in my area that I can delegate
Right,
out to them, go to them, because I want to see the best for the dog and I have no problem. And I do have people say to me, but you're losing a client potential opportunity. Why are you doing that? But it's because I know who the clients I am looking for. Typically that is the clients that are first time puppy parents and owners, because I have lived that and I have feel like with my own journey, training journey with my own dog, I have created a toolkit that has provided me with success with my dog and growing not only my bond but getting more of the behaviors I'd like to see for my dog. So those are the clients I want to take on and mentor and help them achieve those goals.
So moving forward though, looking forward in your career 5, 10 years down the road, what are some of the things that you hope to achieve? Are you drawn to things like the reactive dogs or separation anxiety or things like that? Because I will not touch separation anxiety with a 10-foot pole. I will help initially. I'll do that initial, like, hey, you got to leave your dog alone. And then we're going to get, or you're not, excuse me, you're not going to leave your dog alone, then you're gonna get over and talk to this person. But what's kind of calling your name?
Yeah, I could definitely see myself taking on more reactive cases as well as sound sensitivity, since that's currently what I'm dealing with my own dog. I have a couple clients I'm very particular who I've done reactivity training specifically with relaxation protocol, settling on a mat, doing lat training, disengage, that types of training. Look at that from using pattern gains from Control Unleash. So I'm comfortable with those. So I think down the road as I grow and get more education as well as certifications, I could see myself taking on more of those reactive
and
cases.
that will serve you well, honestly, to do it that way, to get especially, people don't give it enough credit, but your trick training stuff, like, really, like, will go a long way, will serve you, you know? Not I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's
yeah, I mean, because are you going to focus on teaching a reactive dog how to shake or whatever, roll over? You could. It would be fun. It'd be a nice distraction. But it's more about the way that you're learning things and the way that you're problem solving and the way that you're splitting and breaking down things um when you're doing trick training and stuff like that. those little things and those little pieces of what you're doing and how you're learning and how you're teaching, those will serve you well.
But yeah, that's why I love trick training. I think my superpower in the dog training world is to be able to take different
Mm,
type segments of a cue
mhm,
that you're working on and breaking it down into that little segments that makes it easy and understandable for our dog parents to get that outcome, that desired and I hate using the word results as a positive reinforcement trainer, but to get those desired behaviors that we are looking for. So yeah, exactly. I totally agree with that with tricks training to be able to have that in my toolkit. And it's super funny too because why I
mm,
love tricks training so much is because I watched a lot of YouTube videos that were showcasing a lot of tricks. So a lot of times I thought, oh, that's dog. It is dog training, but I was like, that's tricks training. Yeah, that I can. I'm a good dog training my dog at home. Look at all these tricks she can do. And I remember her first puppy manners class that she took. The instructor asked me, "Oh, what can your dog do?" And I'm just showing, "Oh yeah, she can do loads of things. She can spin. She can high five.
mm.
She can wave. She's only 9 weeks old." And I'm like thinking, like, "This is amazing. Look what I've done." And the person goes, "Oh, great, but what other cues does she know? Like, can she do, touch? Can she look at something and then disengage and look back at you?" I'm like, no, but you can do all this. And that just shows how naive as a first time pet owner I thought dog training was.
Well, I think that's one of the things we forget too, that reactive dog training or even separation anxiety and all that stuff, well, before everybody gets mad at me, while it is counter conditioning, and I always forget which one, if it's Skinner or the other guy. I forget. I always confuse them because my brain hates me. At the end of this, exactly, I am a very educated human being, but don't ask me
Mm.
to actually get it out of here. Sometimes, like it's up here. Can I get it out? Not always. I digress. Uh, but at the core of what we're doing with these animals, whether it is engage, disengage, or teaching them to be left alone and not panic, it is tricks. Everything we do with our dog is a trick. And so you're not wrong. You are a great trick trainer, but you're also so much more.
Thank you. Oh, thank you
Right.
for that R plus. I needed that.
So, oh shoot, I had a question. Oh, it came back. Unless you had one, Nicole. Okay. So as a new trainer, then you're coming up. What are things that you think? Let's start. Well,
It cut out. I missed
dang
that
it!
question.
What can we do for up and coming trainers to make
Mm,
getting into this field easier or more
mhm.
fun, or want them to choose R plus? In your opinion, not that you have to change the whole industry by yourself.
Take on the world.
Exactly.
I'm the type of person though, my husband always tells me that when I set my mind to something, yep, nope, it's gonna happen. So don't tell me that because then maybe
Yep.
I go into that. But yeah, I just would love to see more opportunities. I wish we could get
Mm,
less of the balance methods and the aversive methods out on social media. I wish that would decrease a little bit because my heart breaks every time I see a social media post with that prong collar or that e-collar on. Look at what my dog can do on this hike. It can go all the way out and come right back to me. I'm like, you're not training a dog's behavior there. You are training them to just comply because of pain or fear, intimidation. It's just so I would love to see more R
mm,
plus trainers taking on digital efforts and showing us that dog training can be fun. That R plus is not just we don't just throw out treats. We aren't hot dog trainers like we've been unfortunately called, and we're much more than that. So just being more of that voice out there and sending out that messaging of the myths and helping typical everyday dog parents see these myths, and hopefully we can create a movement that does go more into that realm of science driven methods. Yeah, that we have to take on this, and it's so hard because we are such people pleasing. Most
Mm.
of us dog trainers, we go into the field not because of the money,
Mhm.
but because we want to help dogs live better lives, and we want to help parents have better relationships with their dogs. And yeah, so it's sad that we have to take this burden on.
Well, I mean, obvious. No,
Mm.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And in fact, my
Mhm.
social media journey, it started with my face. I had like 60 followers. Then I started posting CJ, and he quickly got like 2,000 followers. And I was like, oh, cool, my dog's more popular than me. And then it kind of just like snowballed into this. And now my days are filming content and working with clients, which I have no qualms. I love what I do. I
Mm.
have so much fun most days with content. But no person wakes up. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's some out there. There's some out there. But we don't go into this field going, I'm going to make 8-second reels every day for the rest of time. So it's unfortunate, like you said, Nicole, that this is part of it now. But I don't know if y'all see it or not, but I'm seeing a shift on social media to
Mm.
the way
Definitely.
we are communicating with each other. We're not there yet, but I'm seeing a lot more respectful conversations happening. I'm seeing a lot more just people doing the right things with their dogs. And maybe that's just my algorithm, but I'm seeing that change and I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's my algorithm,
Mhm.
but I don't see that at all. I see it so skewed in the other direction of constantly being bombarded with, like Mandy was saying, like shit videos and harmful information, and then people like rallying support to that, and it's just so disheartening to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
looking at
Yeah.
something that you put out, Karen, and being like, "Yeah, this is cool. This is such a cute little video," or you put out like a really like good little tidbit of information. But it's like if you slapped it, if and you should do it. You should do it. You should put a Halloween fake e-collar on CJ, and then just be like doing something in the backyard with him, and like tag e-collar technologies on it. Dude, I you should do it just as an experiment. See how many more likes you get, or see how much more traction that gets, right? And that's the shitty part.
I mean, that is the shitty part because that's the unfortunate side of social media, that the controversial stuff is going to get the traction. But what I am seeing though is people no longer accepting that. Because for so long we went along with it because it was flashy and it was quick, and we love, as humans, for whatever reason, we love to fight with each other, which I think is the dumbest thing in
Mhm.
this world. Why are we all fighting with each other all the time? But I am seeing a huge shift of people going, no, I'm not going to engage with this stuff. I'm not going to focus on that anymore. I'm going to find the good. I'm going to showcase the good. I'm going to be the good. And to me, that's how it changes how we move this forward. And I know that's not everybody's take on things, and I know I'm not going to change the world that way. But I'm seeing more and more people going, I'm going to be the example instead of trying to just fight what I'm seeing.
Mm.
And I'm loving that experience because now it's not. And you're absolutely right. If I posted tomorrow or on Halloween a video of CJ with a fake e-collar on or whatever it may be, people would lose their ever loving minds. But I had somebody actually do something somewhat recently to like this, and she posted in her stories. She was like, "Hey guys, I'm really sorry. I have to come clean. I just purchased an e-collar for my dog. I hope you guys will understand."
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
And
talking about.
like immediately, because it's our human reaction, I was like, "Oh my god, what are you doing?" And then I was like, "Wait, Karen, hang on, hang on. You know this person." And I started to type out a message, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on? You want to talk about it?" And I was like, wait, wait, wait. She posted more stories. Let's actually see what's going on. And it was like a gotcha. She was talking about an Elizabeth collar. That's what they're called, right? The
Yeah.
plastic ones. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it. So you're gonna get regardless. I could post the most bland or just whatever video, and you're gonna get hate. However, I'm just seeing less of it. And I don't know if that's everybody's experience or not, but that's my experience.
That's good though. I'm glad.
Going back on the going back on the Halloween trend too. One thing that's really bothering me on social
Mm,
media, and I was just talking about it today with another dog trainer, is the ghost trend. And I know that came out about 2 years ago. It came out the year when I got my dog. Actually, I never did the trend. I didn't have an opinion on it. But now, as a dog trainer, seeing it, why are we doing this? We're adding this pain and or this fear and blocking our dog's eyesight and their movements just for the joy of Instagram. I feel, conflicted because a lot of these dog parents dog Instagram accounts that are doing this, they don't know any better. They're not dog trainers. So why would I expect this of them? And so for content right there, I'm like, why we need to create a post with talking about this, like, hey, instead of doing this, how about we do this instead?
right.
And providing that message out, jumping on these trends and these hooks that these dog Instagram community, this community is jumping on and taking it from that dog training spin. So that's where I'm at with that, and just shows how content can be not in the dog community, not even on the training side, can be videos that irk me and give me the major ick, and I don't want to be a part of
Right.
them on my feed.
But see, I think that's exactly it. Because in the past, people would, maybe not 2 years ago, because we were all locked inside doing trends. But, or was that 4 years ago? I don't know anymore. But like in the past, people would just come out and start attacking these trends, and they would just go right into that. But like you just said, now we're taking it and going, instead of doing this, let's do this. So we're leading with that kindness, but we're also leading with a solution instead of just going, no, you can't do that. And that's, to me, that's the way forward. And that's a fantastic point you just
Yeah,
made.
I love that too, because that's exactly what we do as dog trainers. We see these behaviors, and I hate calling them undesirable behaviors, but the behaviors that we as a society claim to be as bad behaviors. And as trainers, instead, let's modify. Well, we'll first implement management. It's the easiest thing you can do in dog training. You don't need to be a dog trainer to do that. And then instead we'll take it to that next step and modify the behaviors into something different. So just like what you were saying with that post, we're doing this, but instead we should do
Right.
this.
Yeah. I'm too tired for that though. No, I get, and I
I
see
know.
what you're saying though, Karen, and I do agree with that. Like, right? Like I do. So I'm always going to be the contrarian. You know that about me. I do agree with that, right? Like I think it is so helpful when I see, I see you post something, right? Like maybe I just got 10 videos sponsored to me or thrown in my feed or whatever about XYZ. And then I see Karen and she's like, well, we could actually do this instead. And that's great. And I love that. But it's like, is that,
It's a tough.
yeah, it's a tough part of it because yes, as trainers, we are somewhat responsible for educating people, right? I mean, that's what we do. We educate people. But at the same time, it's like, that's a big burden to put on you
Mhm.
to
And
say,
that's, yeah,
you
and then
have
that's
got to put
why we
out
have
this
so many.
content to combat that.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And that's why we see so many dog trainers, they get burned out and quit the business altogether.
Yeah, me. Hi,
And
me.
for me, that's why I've really taken a step back as far as posting about you can't use this tool, you can't do
Mm,
this, or you shouldn't do that. And finding that place of joy in this again and showing people that it doesn't have to be that hard, because I think part of the problem for us R plus people to really get through to the people, whether it's the trainers or the clients that want to use those kind of tools. I think sometimes for us R plus people, we make it too difficult. And the average client
mm,
isn't going to want that 25-step plan.
mm,
So if I can show them, throw some treats on your floor and it'll help your dogs get along, as long as
right.
there's no food issues and there maybe is a gate in between, that kind of stuff. If I'm showing the easier solutions, that's how we plant that seed,
Mm,
versus me feeling like I have to take on these people and prove that you don't need that. You can do it without it, because it's that Google search. It's
right.
that the first option that comes up is what you're going to take if it's, and no disrespect to you, Mandy, because like I said, we've all done it. We all still do it. It's the easiest solution. We want the easiest, and that's the first option on Google. So if I can show somebody how easy R plus can be
Mm,
without tearing down others in the process, that's how we really get in there.
right.
So that's my take on it.
And it's a
Yeah.
great perspective too. I love that. And I'm stuck in that realm. I'm in the middle of, I don't know which side is the right side. I understand the one side where they said, why are we giving these people a platform by opening up these conversations? It's just making it worse. But then I also like the other side of it, where they're open to put themselves out there in those difficult conversations to provide their perspective, and ultimately science will win. So why not let these people go out here and share, have these conversations with balance trainers or aversive trainers, and getting their feedback and understanding and showing how their way is just been more reliable and more effective.
Mm,
And I also think, for me, again, just going from how I view it, I'm never going to change the world. I'm never going to convince everybody, as hard as I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm never going to get through to those
right.
accounts that have 30, 40, 50,000 followers, because they're going to have so much R plus for their methods that that's not my target
True.
audience. That is not who I am trying to
Mm-hmm.
change. I am trying to change the people who have 50 followers, 100, 1,000, 5,000. Or I'm just trying to, again, plant that seed that maybe we don't need it. And and then collectively, as we all come together and realize, hopefully, we don't need these tools, when they start to see their target market now shifting, that's
Mm,
hopefully when those 50, 100,000 follower people will be like, oh, maybe that is there. Because it's not just me that's going to change it, it's all of us.
Yeah.
And we're not all going to come together if we're all constantly yelling at each other in the comments. Although sometimes it's so much fun to do.
It is. No, I mean, I get that. I get what you're saying, and you're right. Like that's something I actually never thought about. What you just said about. Well, obviously, I think about it all the time. I'm not going to change anybody, right? Like that's not really ever my goal. Do I hope that maybe somebody will see that little back and forth and be like, oh, well, maybe Peter does actually have some good points and is actually backing it up with like factual information versus not. And maybe like you're saying, that's planting the seed there. But my goal is never to change that person because it's impossible, right? Like just like there's nobody is going to change my mind that I need to throw a prong collar on this 6-pound chihuahua over here, right? Or a shock collar. A shock collar so big that she can't even hold her head up because it's so heavy. Nobody's going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change anybody else's mind. And you're right. And the point that you made about those people are also getting enough or getting obviously enough R plus for their own thing. So it's like, what is my conversation really doing then, other than feeding their algorithm, I guess.
Well, and one last thing, and then I promise we'll get back on track and we'll get back to Mandy. The other thing I like to always kind of keep in the back of my mind is how far science has come. And we are on the side of science right now. And I think in some hypothetical world, 30 years from now, the science has swung back around and they're saying, no, you need to do these things with your dogs. I would be the person saying, the science ain't sciencing. I'm going to stick with what I know and what works for me. So then I go, okay, that's what's going on in their heads, or I like to think that's what they're thinking. That this is what I know, this is what works. I don't agree with the science. And so then I try to come at it from that perspective that if somebody told me, if all the scientists in the world said, Karen, you need to beat your dog to get them to do it, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so I just try to keep that in mind, that it's not going to be me shoving a paper in their face or shoving my ethics and my beliefs in their face. It's going to be me showing them. And not that I have to, not that I feel obligated to,
Right.
but that's how I'm approaching it. So.
It's a great way of thinking and taking it from a different perspective and showing empathy to the other side of in the training community, and taking that step back and seeing what really matters. And because if, like you said, when we do come together, then that's going to be that opportunity for us to make waves in this industry, so that we can keep these new trainers like myself coming and hoping that they want to continue to grow in their field and get education. They're focused on looking at science driven methods to become better. And I hope we can see that in my generation of this new world I'm taking on. I hope we can see this.
Well, I think with people like you, we absolutely will. So, do you have any questions, Nicole?
I did. I had one more question. So, Mandy, as a new trainer, what's kind of one singular piece of advice that you would give somebody that's like, I think I might want to be a dog trainer?
I think the best advice, do it. If that's what you love and you're passionate about, go for it. Don't, follow that dream. It's not silly. And regardless of what other people may tell you. And another piece of feedback I would give is be sure to turn off trainer mode. Sometimes we can be so focused and wanting to be a trainer, and that's when we experience burnout. I joke a lot of times that some of my dog training clients keep me up at night because I'm constantly looking up at the ceiling and my head is turning, my wheels are spinning, my head is turning, and I'm thinking of new ways to help this dog out with such and such, and or I hope this parent, is able to get through this issue that they're tackling this coming week, and that finding a better solution. And sometimes, again, that's going to create burnout in myself, and I need to protect my mental health, my physical health, so I am the best for my family, my husband, and my dog. And that's like something that I would really try with these new dog trainers, because you're so driven. You want to take on every single client in the world that comes at you because you just started, and you probably don't have any money because you spent it all on education and
Wait, we're supposed to get money after
webinars.
education?
Yeah.
Where's this money coming? I'm just kidding.
Yes, exactly. And you're like, so can I take on this one more client? And oh, yes, I can. But then this client might not be your ideal fit. So taking that step back and saying, they're not the right fit, and that's okay. So I really focus on setting my boundaries too. And I'm doing these initial consults, making sure that they do understand it's positive reinforcement training. I will not train using any aversive methods, and that they understand what that fully means. Because, like I said, I didn't know what it means, so they don't even know what it means.
Well, good. Well, congratulations. And it's nice to have, another like new trainer, and, that you're coming in it like full gusto. And, boots on the ground, getting out there, doing it. I was just taking a look at your Instagram page. It's cute. So cute.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I think what you're doing is awesome. And I'm glad, like Karen said, I'm glad that we are having more new trainers that, like you, for sure.
Thank you so much. And I have such amazing mentors that have been able to get me here where I'm at in such a short period of time. I didn't mention earlier, but my full-time job is actually working for DigiWoof. I am a social media manager and our content manager. So I do all of the content for our DigiWoof clients' websites, as well as I manage our social media clients. So every call I have that with these trainers, I am learning, I'm growing, I'm getting something out of it, and it's making me such a better trainer. And then as well as Josh and Mandy Bowtel, they are amazing mentors as well too, and helping me become not only a better marketing professional, but also a better dog trainer as well too. So really appreciate them as mentors. And Mandy designed my logo, so if you guys do check out my Instagram, she embodied the whole vision of it's me and my dog high-fiving. It's raising the wolf, knowing that dog training is fun. And hello, Reese, you want to come say hello to the camera? Yes, you can. Yes. She says hello. Yeah, she gets embarrassed. She's like, Mom, you're talking about me again.
I love
She
Mandy
says,
so
I don't
much.
want to be a Yes. She says, I don't want to be the face of your business. I just want to be a normal dog.
I just want to reach and smush her. She's so cute. So you actually just started to hint at something though, but how can our listeners find you?
Yes, I love that. I'll drop my handles and point. You see the points right here, and that's where you're going to insert my handles and like and subscribe.
I will.
Right?
Yeah. Make me go watch.
Yeah, so not as much fun as it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me on all social media accounts. I'm on Facebook at Raise the Wolf Dog Training. And then on Instagram, my handle is Raise the Wolf Training. And then also my website is raisethewolfdogtraining.org if you want to check out my website.
Nice. Awesome. Do you have any questions for us quick before we wrap up? Or
Think a good question. I think we kind of covered it with where you see where we're going in the industry soon, but to elaborate maybe a little bit more on that, what do you think we can do as new trainers to without experiencing burnout or putting that burden on ourselves to help us get more in that direction that we're hoping that we can share with the public?
My biggest one for any upcoming dog trainer or even existing dog professionals, it doesn't have to be just trainers, is for the love of all that is holy, schedule your days off and have them be consistent. I don't care if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday or if you take the weekend off, but make sure you have days off. Because when I first started, it was 7 days a week. I'm unstoppable. I can do it all. You're going to get burnt out. Your relationships are going to suffer.
It's going to hit hard.
You are going to be fine if you take 2 days off consistently. You'll be fine. So that's my biggest advice to anyone.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Protecting yourself, because we can't be the best trainers that we can be if we aren't putting ourselves first as well. And it can be very hard as people pleasing tendencies as us with dog trainers wanting to take on the world and save every dog out there.
It truly can. Because I remember when I shortened my business hours from I went from I close at 5:30 to 5. And I thought at first, I'm going to lose all of my clients. Nobody is going to come. And everybody's like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
And like you said, turn the trainer off. But make sure you have days off. You can still be up here in your brain thinking about it. But for the love of God, sit on your sofa, read a book, watch a movie, do anything except for talk to clients.
Right. Yeah.
And Reese agrees, obviously. She says, yes, yeah. Her thing too is, I think her advice to turn off training mode when we're together too as well. Because there are times as a dog trainer where I just want to keep working with her. I'm like, there's always something we can improve on. Let's do this. Let's do this. And no, sometimes we just need to go across the street in our favorite place and go take a safari. There's a playground that's all fenced in. Let her take her run and let her just be a dog sometimes, not this little robot that I'm trying to transform and change.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be Reese's advice, I think.
Well, if we're offering our dogs
says,
advice, CJ would say more snacks. That would be CJ's advice.
Yeah.
More snacks.
What about you,
snacks
Nicole?
and more naps.
Did you have any advice, Nicole?
Oh, my advice? Get really good at reading advanced material. Not just a blog or what somebody's post says. Get really good at digging into information. I don't know why they don't teach I don't know, maybe Karen, did you have a library course class where they taught you how to research stuff? Probably not. That's how old I am. It's how to research stuff. Literally.
Wow.
And that would be my advice. Trust.
Yeah.
But verify.
I like it.
And be that sponge and soak in the correct science. Not be afraid, I guess, to fact check in a sense too. And if listening to your intuition, if something doesn't feel right,
absolutely,
it probably is.
Yep.
Oh, I've got one last one.
Do it.
Especially this is more geared towards the social media side of it. You're not allowed to be bought because companies will come to you. They will want to sell you their product. They'll want you to showcase their product.
Yep.
But know what you stand for, know what you believe in. Free products are not worth giving up what you stand for. So, and if somebody wants to send you a product and you're like, yeah, cool, be honest in your review, because I will rip a product to shreds, whether it's gifted to me or not. I'll be like, oh, this is shit, don't buy it. So be honest. So,
yeah.
All right.
All good points.
Believe it.
All good points. Well, thank you, Mandy. We appreciate you joining us, and we finally made it happen after a lot of scheduling snafus going on there, but so glad to finally have you on, and this was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun. And again, I definitely will take this and grow with it too, as well as I continue this new journey.
All right, Karen, take us home.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this conversation. Please don't forget to give your dog a biscuit from us, and we'll see you next time.